Welcome back. We are discussing Nnamdi Kanu's conviction matters arising with our guests, Ikechukwu Emeka Onya, a public affairs commentator. Good morning, Mr. Onya. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. We are starting off with an overview of the trial process since 2015 up to this moment. Can you give us your, your general overview of it?
My view of the whole thing is that it is a process that some of us believe that should be done in order to create the healing process in Southeast especially, because I'm so particular about the effect of the Nnamdi Kanu's activities in Southeast, and the trial from day one has been about giving him fair hearing since 2015, pending to the time I would like to say he jumped bail after he was released on 28th of April 2017, and since then he refused to attend court and later was rearrested. In the first part of Nnamdi Kanu's activity, we didn't witness violence. That was 2017. The violent part of it started after he was released. That was 2020 upward. And since that 2020, Southeast saw what they've never seen before outside civil war. The unknown gunmen, the insecurity, the killing of policemen, innocent citizens, and disrupting of economic activities, creating panic, and creating bad PR for the zone. So when he was rearrested around June 2021, some of us want to see him executed, want him to have fair hearing, and want justice to take place. And so, for me, it is a good judgment for me. And for me, it is a wonderful development. At least it will prove that it will send a message that there is no incentive for bad behavior, for such behavior, especially in Southeast. Like, you hear some of his supporters saying, why Nnamdi Kanu? What happened to Boko Haram in the north that are petting them? If they are petting them in Boko Haram in the north, we are not petting such behavior in Southeast. Igbos respect blood. That's why in Igbo culture, if you shed blood, if you kill someone, even by accident, you are meant to leave the community. You are meant to you are meant to leave this community for some years, after which cleansing will take place. That's the Igbo culture. We respect blood. And under Nnamdi Kanu, can you imagine a man on a live video, on a live broadcast, calling for 2,000 heads to be used to bury one of his commanders, the consul, that he will be used, that they are going to use 2,000 human heads to bury him, and calling his already brainwashed, radicalized members to go on now and start hunting for 2,000 human heads to bury one person. As if that wasn't enough, you heard him on several occasions on live video calling for killing of policemen and burning down police stations. As at the last count, 128 police officers have been killed. Most of them are Igbos. 37 military men, most of them Igbos. So when you talk about that Kanu was fighting for Igbo, how? By killing our people, by creating insecurity, by creating economic disruption that made investors to run away from Southeast. Southeast economy has been so shaky. But our people have been active in terms of microeconomic activity on their own, creating entrepreneurial activity within the Southeast, putting up their own infrastructure, only for Kanu to come with his ESN that move into from ESN to non-government and set up camps. They said that they were fighting insecurity. How come that under them we created unimaginable insecurity in Southeast? People started doing Nkuwan outside Southeast because of the insecurity they created. People made community that didn't witness this will not understand what communities like Iseke, Lilu, Osumowo, Ifitokwa, also Arondis of Okpo, and what have you passed through. These are communities within Anambra, Imo, where they kill, bury, rape, and what have you in the name of Biafra. So for me, the judgment is a welcome development. If not for anything, it will prove something that if you behave that way, you have it.
So contrary to what you just said about it being a fair trial, his lawyer says he was convicted on mere spoken words, and it was a trial of travesty, a travesty of justice. That was what he called it. Now you are saying that it was a fair trial. What's your response to what the lawyer said?
Thank you. The lawyer has the right to say that, to entertain his supporters. But let me tell you this: inciting, why Nnamdi Kanu's case is hard to defend. It's very hard for the lawyers to defend on the strength of the evidence. Is one, Nnamdi Kanu did a lot of live broadcasts that everybody has access to. Live broadcasts. Now, this live broadcast, because of that live broadcast, when he called for 2,000 heads, it was on live. During the NSAS, he never started in NSAS protests. It was going on. Now, at the tail end of the NSAS, Nnamdi Kanu appeared on video, live broadcast, calling for burning of various, that the members say start burning public institutions, public buildings, government buildings, mentioning them, directing them, and they were calling him, and he was directing, and burning of government property started. It is part of the evidence. It was played in court and what have you. Most of them, when he called for killing of policemen, played in court. When he called for burning of Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, and other properties in Lagos, played in court. So he never disputed those videos. The argument was initially that he committed this he made those live broadcasts in UK, thereby that Nigeria doesn't have jurisdiction to prosecute him. One, first, you did that broadcast from UK, right? But the damage was caused in Nigeria. Nigeria had jurisdiction for the matter. By virtue of that, what you did in UK damaged things in Nigeria. So Nigeria hold on that. Two, they are talking about the appeal law. The appeal law, Terrorism Act. Kanu's case started in 2015, not 2021 when he was arrested. Already, he was being tried on that particular law, the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2015 or so, 2013. So by 2021 or so, Nigeria reappealed the law. Reappealing the law does not mean removing the existing case. So as they reappealed the law, they strengthened the law. That 2013 law that was used on him has been merged as 2021 and made it valid. Now, what made the law unfair was Kanu not inciting for violence. He made it publicly. There was video evidence. Were people not killed from that? Many killed. The number of police killed as the last count was 128, satisfied, 128. Number of police stations damaged, about more than 100 police stations. In Nnewi, ISIS, for instance, let me give you an example. I visited some. In Nnewi, ISIS, over 8 police stations with INEC office only within Nnewi. Or Nnewi, or so many, Amici, and what have you, burnt down their police station. So the lawyer saying that the judgment was not fair, he has the right to appeal. That's the truth. He has the right of appeal. But on what strength? He didn't open your defense. He ran away from opening his defense. What will appeal stand on in this matter? Let me tell you their strategy. We are hoping for political solution. They were looking for technicality. They wanted people to intervene. They never expected that the judge will go on. They wanted along the line that the high-profile individual will go and beg the president that will be some political solution. But nobody was ready to do that again. You know why? Hello?
Okay. Now, we had...
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
We had the Chief Judge, Justice Omotosho, cite scriptures when he was issuing the sentencing and said, oh, because of his faith, he's, leaning towards a life imprisonment. Why do you think the death penalty that the prosecution requested for by all counts of his, offenses, why do you think the death penalty was not issued? Why do you think they issued a life sentence instead of the death penalty?
I think the judge, it is on his own discretion to use either life, because the offense also has room for life sentence, for death sentencing. Maybe it is on his own discretion. That's what I look at it. He believes that maybe let me allow him to be on life sentence instead of jail, because if he is to be fair to fair to the victim, then it should have been life sentencing. It should have been death. If the judge was to be fair to the victims of these activities. I'm saying victim because I know so many victims. Okay? I know so many victims that this Nnamdi activity cost their lives. The family that are in room today. So if judge actually look deeply on from the angle of this victim, then it should have been death sentencing. But again, a lot of people that are on death sentence in Nigeria hardly be put to death. Most of them will remain on the life sentence. So it's the same thing. But I can tell you that that case, Nnamdi Kanu, they wanted, what they actually wanted was political solution to be, but nobody want to come and go for him. You know why? The first one in 2020, I was one of those that one of the 15-man Igbos delegation that visited Nnamdi Kanu through Nzukọ Ụmụnna on February 28, 2017 at Kuje. We had 2 hours discussion with him. Part of the discussion was, don't go violence if you must continue. Stop abusing other tribes. Stop abusing them. He said, okay. Don't go violence, he agreed. Why not, if you can turn your this into political, run for election, or you are a group, join political party, run for election. Those ideas I believe that is not going on. You can start implementing it within your own, within the area you are controlling and all that. Why not? Because he said no. Then after he agreed that he's not going to go violent, we went to 30 Hotel and called for World Press Conference. In that delegation, we are Professor Tukuma Soludo, Professor Pat Tommy, Professor Udenta, Innocent Chukuma, and so many other Igbos. I was the only young guy with them in that delegation. So I'm speaking from the point of someone that have interacted with this guy on the angle. Don't go violent because it will destroy Igbo economy. When you go violent, the government will go after you and they will move everything, and it disrupted Igbo activity. Do you know that we are losing because of him? Some investors move away from Southeast. Some that intend to bring their partners to set up business in Southeast ran away because of insecurity created by IPOB and Nnamdi and all this. And our zone is suffering from it. Our people are not getting jobs because of that. In Southeast today, how many jobs can pay you as a graduate 500,000 naira a month? There is no big companies that can. If we have bigger economic activity, your television will be making more money, extra activity, extra money, and the company will be paying you, the host, higher. But some of these activities, insecurity here and they're created by these people, is also an impediment to this.
How does this affect?
Thank you.
How does this affect Southeast? You know, the tension
Economically.
before and now that he's been convicted and sentenced. How does this affect the tensions in the Southeast? Do you think it will escalate or reduce?
There is no tension. Within Nnamdi brought tension in Southeast. Southeast is solving their problem, insecurity problem created by Nnamdi without him. He was coming as someone that want to solve insecurity problem, but he created more. So now his insecurity infrastructure he put in place has been destroyed by Southeast government, state government partner and community partnership with government security architecture. Today, Southeast are moving freely without him. Nobody will harass you because you prefer to sit at home, unlike before. Nobody will kill anybody. Nobody will stop people writing WAEC on Monday, like happened during Nnamdi and their insecurity team. Stopping students writing English because it was on Monday, WAEC English. So I can tell you, you are in Southeast. Is there any problem in Enugu, any tension of any type? No. No tension anywhere. People are moving on their own. He created so much problem in our area, I'm telling you. And today, the Southeast is just, there won't be any tension. You know why? People have seen that he created trouble for them. Forget the noise they are doing on social media, some of them, using fake accounts and what have you. Because what Kanu has done to IPOB is that he has put it in a shape that the world can refer it as terrorist organization. The implication is this, that anybody associating with it, whether you are living in the US, you are in danger. So everybody is becoming careful with IPOB because by getting gun and supplying gun to them and announcing it, and them asking them to go and kill, he has announced himself as on a terrorist watch list in the world. And the world, once terrorism is in place, they unite together to fight it. So Southeast is very peaceful without Nnamdi, even while he is in prison. Nobody is thinking about it. Did you notice any protest of any type in Southeast? No.
Now, there was so much rave about, the creation of the indigenous people of Biafra. And as their national leader, while he was still in custody, they had like a whole hope, high hopes and all. Now that he's been imprisoned, what are the hopes of the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra?
If you notice, before he was even in prison, when he started violence, let me tell you one thing. Federal government, before now, we are calling him a terrorist. People were defending him. The world were defending him because he was not here. Federal government want to see him go into that violence, so that into terrorism paint, so that they will mess him up. They will have support of the global world to mess him up. He was not smart. The moment he joined that, he announced gun, setting up ESN, calling for killing of 2,000 heads, calling for killing of police, army, and all that on live TV. The intelligence community in the world, that's the world, the Nigerian security, Nigerian intelligence share information with other security across the world. They now see Nnamdi and the IPOB as a terrorist organization. Because of that, the organization cannot function well anywhere in the world today. Mind you, Simon Ekpa was jailed for terrorism in Finland. Kanu would have been jailed in UK because anti-terrorism acts of Europe, which Europe and UK is part of, don't joke with you being on their land, inciting for violence. So Kanu would have been jailed. He know about it, and he ran to Canada before he was free to Kenya. Nigeria tripped him to Kenya before arresting him. What am I saying? I'm trying to tell you that the key figures in IPOB today abroad they cannot operate because Kalu has made the organization after they are not called terrorist organization. Because of that, Onye now they be very careful. On that note, it cannot function again.
Okay.
They cannot function.
Lastly, sorry to cut you off. Lastly, before we go, now we understand that that there is a room for an appeal. He has 90 days to file. And yesterday we've learned that he's been moved to Sokoto. What are the chances of him securing an appeal? And what are the potential grounds for his appeal? Just briefly before our time runs out.
Okay. He cannot secure any appeal. He will go for appeal, but there is no chances in appeal. He never opened the defense. On what basis will he appeal? Or is it that he didn't kill? He is not even looking at he's looking for technicality, but technicality cannot work here. He is challenging how he was brought from Kenya. That it was illegal. Supreme Court has settled that. Supreme Court ruled against him that the way the manner you were brought from Kenya to Nigeria cannot vitiate the criminal case you are facing. You cannot invalidate the allegation you commit, the offense you committed. So now that one, how you were arrested is immaterial. That's what Supreme Court rules. So they cannot bring that on appeal. It will collapse. Then on other points, for me, he doesn't have chance in appeal court. He doesn't even have chance. So,
all right.
Can I assure you that?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. That's all with the time we have this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Onya. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you, my host. Thank you,
all right.
TV.
Coming up next is our week in retrospect. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.